Welcome back to another episode of Counting Me Out podcast. I'm your host, JQ, sports PR manager and sports host.
And it's your boy Spoon, man, sports fanatic, sports junkie, high school basketball coach, just really trying to make it make sense.
We are so excited to have our special guest today. I know I've been trying to catch up with this man since I touched down in 2016, and he's been dodging me into the night. So.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, man, this is somebody who has carved himself into the groundwork of Atlanta basketball, period, when it comes to grassroots, when it comes to professional owner, CEO, founder of the AEBL basketball league here in Atlanta, the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, Jahi Rawlings.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
You know, we here at Counting Me Out, man, you know, to start it off just like more of an icebreaker kind of thing, you know, we do this thing where we ask fire questions.
Okay.
And, you know, it's just going to be some quick questions JQ's going to ask, I'm going to ask, you know, just to give the people a little bit more insight on who you are as a person. Okay. You know, nothing crazy, just a little icebreaker. JQ, what you got?
Okay, so you ready for the first question,
Yeah,
y'all?
let's do it.
All right, here we go. What are the two things that you do or use to put you in the best mood?
That's good. Most importantly, I pray when I wake up. And I try to, you know, I would say after I pray, try to make sure that my kids are good. Once I know that they good, then it's like free. You know what I mean? Like I can move, I can travel, I can do whatever I need to do.
Okay, yeah. I love that. What's another thing that you do?
That's probably it. I mean, I listen to music. I mean, I definitely try to set the day with a good vibe. So I'm either on my R&B or my old school. You know what I'm saying?
Go to one song right now. What's your?
And you got to sing it.
Nah, I ain't singing it. That ain't my MO. Marketing and sports. Nah.
What's
all right. So either Settle Here, which is a gospel track, or K Trinata and Her. Their new song
like
that they got.
Her's music.
Yes.
No cap.
Yeah.
That's
my day
music.
mood setter.
I do like Her's
listen
music.
to her
You
put
did
me in a
something just
whole different mindset, man. Just her voice and the melodies that she sings on. My next question.
All right.
What was the last movie that you watched but actually fell asleep on?
Ooh.
He about to hurt somebody's feelings. Yeah. He gonna hurt somebody's feelings. He gonna say a movie.
Nah, it probably was a
like
kids movie. Cause I take my kids to the movies a lot, man. Damn, you got me on that one. I can't even. I'm stumped on that one.
You don't watch a lot of movies?
Nah, I don't watch a lot of TV.
I don't either.
Yeah. So if I'm going to the movies, it's the kids, or I mean, I done been out on a couple of dates or whatever in the movies, but I can't even remember the movies.
Okay.
More Netflix and chill.
Okay, so for the people that don't know who you are as a
Yep.
person, right? You know, you originated from New York. You're from up top.
Yep.
What's the one thing you miss most about being in New York?
Summertimes, man.
Oh,
Summertimes. Yeah, man. Sure. The vibes. I mean, I just was in New York for like a week, and I'm like, damn, I miss this feeling. I mean, it's just, even with trying to build it the way that I have in Atlanta, it's just something about New York summers, man. It's just vibrant. I mean, the people, the way they moving around on the streets, it's little things. The food, right? Like, even though, the restaurants are there all the time, but the food and the ambiance and the vibe that you get is totally different.
Yo, so, I tell people, if you have not been to New York, right, and been to a bodega and got whatever type of sandwich you was going to get from that bodega, that is one thing I encourage everybody to try at least one time. Yeah. I was hooked. When I used to go train in New York, I used to train in Long Island. Shout out Jerry Powell, man. You my guy forever.
Yeah.
I used to go train in Long Island, and every morning I would go get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
You got to.
On the road.
You got to. Even if you go in a real restaurant, you got to go get a bacon, egg, and cheese or sausage, egg, and cheese before you.
Cheese.
That's it.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Food, I feel like I ain't a food connoisseur.
I'm craving it just talking about it.
Come on, bro. I feel the same way.
We about to, actually, I'm going to find the name for you, but there's a New York bodega that's here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
In
Oh,
Atlanta.
wow.
I'm going. So you about to flood them
Yeah.
now. They likes and Kai, everything about to go crazy.
Yeah, and we've been talking
wait.
about that. Like, yo,
Send me
somewhere
a
in
text.
the
Don't
city.
say it loud. Don't say it out loud. Send me a text, man. DM me the name of this spot so we can get it going.
Yeah.
But again, Jai, we had another guest on the show a little while back, and one thing that we wanted to do from the Counting Me Out podcast was give you your flowers now.
I appreciate that.
For what you've been able to do for the culture of Atlanta basketball is remarkable.
I appreciate that.
There wasn't a thing where all the NBA guys, the best college players, some of the high school guys, there wasn't a thing where they could come play in the summertime until you came around.
Yeah.
And for those who do not know, the first year was outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the first year was
it was me out there hooping.
Come
sometimes.
on, bro! Like
Al from Streeters X.
You
know what
stop
I'm saying?
playing. So
guys that you would never really see. I mean, obviously I played college ball, elite level, but I mean we were just wrangling guys together that was there. That was like, yo, man, we got to put on this game. You know what I mean? So my vision was always to try to bring the Rucker to Atlanta. That's what I grew up off. That's what I've seen since I was a little kid. And I'm like, man, if I could bring that Rucker vibe and feel back when EBC was like lit.
cracking for sure.
EBC at one point was bigger than the NBA.
For sure.
People tuned in more, which is, how they got the NBA TV deal. I knew that it was going to be something special, man, but it was going to take that grit and that hard work that I grew up off seeing. So like you said, man, literally we talk about this every time we have a staff meeting, and I'm telling the newbies that are coming on where we started. I'm like, don't get this twisted. Don't get these sponsor logos and all this.
Yeah, it's
like we didn't
popping
have
now.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, we was out there
John.
sweeping the concrete
so
folks can play.
I was around.
Yeah.
Like to see the evolution of the AEBL as a brand, not just the basketball side, as a brand. You have the mini AEBL where you looking out for the kids doing camps. You got the HBCU Classic who people don't know is behind the scenes working that. You feel me? Like the work and the effort that you put in, again, from the Counting Me Out podcast, we want to give you your flowers, bro.
I appreciate that, and salute for
big
having
time.
me on.
Yeah, that's big time, man. Like, we don't have guests really where they're able to relate to everybody from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And you can relate to the people that have been in that grind that don't really know their next move. You can relate to the people that are at the tippity top of the top.
Right.
Like, it's dope to see what you have done for the Atlanta basketball culture, man, because, for somebody like me who has been around to see from
the
point
beginning.
A to, you feel me, point Z is crazy to me. Like, you took a team of guys from Atlanta to New York.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
We played. We
went to the Rucker. Yeah,
and
we went to Rucker. We had a
at
makeshift
Dykeman.
game at Dykeman.
It was crazy to see, your vision back then, because a lot of people didn't see it.
They didn't.
I know at some point in time, watch this. At some point in time, people counted you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And I
you
was-
go cut that up.
No,
Let's go.
they
look, I was gonna ask you, transitioning from New York to Atlanta, what were some of the kickback that you were getting from people and didn't understand your vision that you had?
Yeah, I think because a lot of people don't really know my real story. They think I just kind of popped up because AEBL was like an entity of mine. But I've been here 24 years. So I coached AAU with the Georgia Stars. I was a community coach at Northcross High School.
Okay.
I played at Georgia Perimeter for 2 years. So I already had been here watching how basketball landscape was either growing or where I seen it wasn't growing, and I was here in the run and shoot days. You know what I'm saying? So when
you said something
when
there.
I came, Atlanta was at that point where it was like New York still was the king of basketball, right? Like, don't matter how you slice it. If you look now, Atlanta's on the top. We number 2 in the country for pros, both in the NBA and internationally. But I think for me, a lot of people were just like, yo, this is a New York dude. He trying to come and do this in Atlanta, and it's a New York feel. And the first couple of guys I went to, they was like, nah, that shit not going to work. Like, that's New York. Only that can happen in New York.
I bet
and
you
I
won't
was
drop
like,
a name of who told you that.
I will. Matt Verdine.
That's what you get, Matt. Eat that.
And I don't think he was doing it in a malicious way, but you got to think Atlanta had just had like a pro-am, pro-city vibe, but it was like invite only.
Right.
Like you had to, like you either had to be a pro or you had to know, who was on to be able to play. And then, when I would go as a college kid and I'm playing, I'm like, damn, we ain't playing in front of nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out, I'll give a huge shout out to Keith Cash, who's got soul. Because I played for his team. Like, that's how far me and him go back. I still got the shorts at the crib.
Shouts out to Chef, man.
When it went from from Nike Pro City to the Prather, I think it even made it more kind of private because it was kind of like, well, if you're kind of not in that circle or that group of people, it's like, you can't hoop.
Yeah, you can't sit with us.
And I feel like, even like Matt, like, salute to Matt and all the great things he did. I don't think he just was kind of like, now I don't think Atlanta ready for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it was a couple other guys, I can't even remember who all was having a conversation. Like my guy Paul, you know what I'm saying? Paul Williams, he was like, yo, he's like, bro, if you could get it going, it's gonna work.
It's gonna crack, yeah.
So it was like they were receptive. I won't say nobody was just like, yo, bro, that's gonna flop. I think they were just hesitant about the nature of what I was trying to do because my vision was to have an outdoor summer basketball league. Bro, the second year we brought the hardwood out.
You get what I'm saying, John? Like that's what I was saying earlier, bro. Like for somebody that got to watch the countless amount of hours of work that you put into this to get it to where it's at now is, they wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
They wouldn't understand
people
why.
Still though, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't
even
understand.
when they walk in the gym now, I've had some conversations even now, and I'll drop some of the things as we talk. But I mean, to think about this, man, I came into this not thinking about how much money I was gonna make. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even think about sponsors. I knew that I could grow it there because I already had been working in like advertising and agency business. So for me, it was like, I kind of know what to do to build it, but it was like, this is still Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I thought about it, it was always to build and make Atlanta basketball better than what it was, and a lot of people didn't like that. I'm a kid from New York. They're like, bro, we got it all. We got,
you don't know about Atlanta.
and I pay homage, which is I went to those people that I felt was those leaders and so what, gatekeepers, like, yo, look, this is what I'm trying to do. How can we, partner and be involved? And a lot of those people were like, man, get the hell out of here. Like, that ain't making me no money.
Yeah.
So and now I get it, right? But I'm like, at the same token, it's like now y'all the same ones that's reaching out to me. Like, yo, can we? And guess what? I'm like, no problem.
Exactly.
Cool, come, bring your squad. We sponsor 6 high schools throughout Metro Atlanta. And majority of the kids, I don't know none of them. But I'm just like, if I got the resources, I built this brand that people respect, I'm gonna give these kids a chance, So yeah.
Are you doing the high school thing in the summer?
No, well, it's hard for us. We've been talking about it. We did the TOC, where we bring the kids at the end. So we definitely gonna try to do that, bring that back. We didn't do it last year because the kids were just coming out of COVID. A lot of coaches like, yo, I don't know if I'm gonna have my real team, so I don't want to put the product. But that is the goal, man. And ultimately, I want to build a high school, summer league that the kids could play in because I feel like AAU is so watered down now. If you nice, you gonna get seen wherever you at.
Right.
Boy, you said something, John. You said something.
So yeah, man, I'm a disruptor. My mom told me that at a young age. I mean, I've always been like this, man. In elementary school, I was telling teachers, they say we being disrespectful, but I would always challenge what they were doing, right? They'd be like, yo, y'all can't go outside today because I'm like, why we can't? We got a gym. Let's go. Take us in the gym for recess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been like that, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to this next part of this journey.
Man, I'm glad you brought up COVID because we spoke off camera about how pivotal that point in time of AEBL as a brand was. Now, this is rolling up on year 11.
Yeah.
Just had a 10-year anniversary. Shout out AEBL, 10 years. Just talk about a little bit about the rebranding that you said you were able to do when COVID hit, because COVID shut a lot of stuff down.
Yeah. For me, like I said, I think it was a blessing in disguise, man, because I had been just nonstop hustling, trying to figure out what pieces of the puzzles we needed to bring to AEBL, how we was going to make sure that we had a season. But then when it was like, nah, it ain't going to be no season. This is the best thing to do. it allowed me to slow down. You know, it allowed me to like literally sit back, see what we had built, figure out how I wanted to navigate it and grow it for the next couple of years. And a lot of that was like dialing back from like all of the hustle. Right? Like what sponsors and, you know, what brands we going to reach out to and how many people we need to have on the teams and things of that nature. So when I was able to sit back a little bit and I think through it, I was like, yo, less is more sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So we cut the season 2 weeks. You remember we went to 16 teams. I brought it back to 12 teams because I'm like, for me, it's the quality. You know what I'm saying?
Quantity. You definitely right.
The quantity piece, you know, I mean, some leagues, they got like 30 teams. I mean, I applaud them, but I'm like, yo, I know at least 80 of your teams couldn't even beat our high school team. You know what I mean? But y'all just want bodies out on the court. Yeah. I'm like, I'd rather do it more, you know, maximize, make the really impressions. And I think we getting that. Like I said, last year, Joe Johnson team won, but every week, majority of our NBA guys was playing. Yeah. Because they like, yo, I gotta, if I'm on this team, I gotta be here. The other pros showing up every week, I gotta be here. You know, I think Lou maybe missed 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? This last summer. That's because he just came off a season when he lost. He like, yo, I ain't trying to lose again.
Hey, so, man, shout out to Lemon Pepper Lou,
for
man.
Sure,
Lemon
man.
Pepper Lou has been a part of the AEBL since the beginning. From day one.
When he wasn't even playing, he was just coaching.
Yes.
You know, so it's guys like that, man, that I pay a lot of love and respect to as we've been building it. Like yourself, man. Like you were just coming out of your pro NBA realm of trying to figure out what's next. You like, yo, shit, I'm showing up.
I'm about to play.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Jahi giving me my flowers.
You know, so yeah, man. And like I said, man, I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for y'all, that first group that really just believed in them first 2 years, I wouldn't have gave up, but I probably would have shifted to doing something different. You know? So like like I said, man, this is all God's work. This is the journey that God put me on because I felt like just like any other hooper, I should have made it pro. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was hooping. All-American Junior College, All-American D2. I was doing it. I'm like, yo, this is my thing. I'm about to go make something happen. But he had something different for me, you know? So even when we shifted, and you probably remember this, my vision was outdoors. I brought a $50,000 hardwood floor, same court that the Atlanta Hawks play on, outside to the hood, bro.
Oh, I was there.
And it rained every weekend. So I'm like,
I'll never forget, Ja, the first weekend I pulled up, I parked my car, and literally, as soon as I put my car in cart, my you feel me?
Yeah.
I feel like the sky opened up.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm talking about, I put it in park, one thunder, boom, and the sky opened up. And I'm like, no way, bro. We about to try to play outside in this rain.
Yeah. What was your instant thought when that happened?
I just was like, yo, what we gonna do? Because I mean, like I said, growing up in New York, they play on a rain delay. So like it could rain at 4:00 if the game at 6:30. They gonna wait.
Yeah.
They gonna wait
6:29.
because that's all New York City basketball. We grow up from birth playing outdoors. We don't see a gym until at least junior high, middle school, unless you go out of town. You know, now there's like we didn't have all them crazy tournaments like they be having. Shouts out to Sean. Like we didn't have all the on the radar tournaments and all that stuff going on. You play outdoor tournaments. You know what I mean? Hot 90-degree weather. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So when it rain, it's a rain delay, and I think they play up to, they'll wait up to a certain time before they try to move it in the gym, or they just cancel the games. So for me, I ain't had that option. All I had was a permit to be at the park outdoors. So even that was a fight trying to get the city to understand what I was trying to do, because once that shift started happening where we started going inside, it was like, I think my cousin came to me and a couple of people that was on our staff, and they was like, yo, it's like 300 people plus in a 200 people gym. This might be this might need to be the way we go. And I'm like, I'm like, nah, we going outside on that hardwood. You know what I'm saying? We done got this hardwood. We going outside. But I remember the exact day. Me, Archie, Afani, and I think Mel or Bria, somebody. We was at the park. We was like, damn, it's gonna rain today. This is going into the playoffs. We had the park at like 3. Game started at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm literally like, I'm pissed. Like, I'm literally going against everything that I know, faith, everything. I'm like, yo, this is not happening, right? We go in the gym, We have Will Barton, 2 Chainz, Lou.
I was just about to say Trinidad James was down there
Trinidad
too.
James. I mean, you name it. Like the who's who of Atlanta showed up. I feel because we moved in the gym because they're like, we're not gonna be outside. Like this is too open. There's no, we had security and stuff, but it was just too open for Atlanta. Man, we went in that gym for the playoffs, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy in.
I believe you. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it.
I'm gonna buy in. So literally, we moved from Central Park to Grady, which was a bigger facility, and we haven't looked back. And I mean, like literally, that marker of changing directions of my vision to believe in the vision that God probably already had planned out, it worked, and we haven't looked back since. So
man, I know again, I don't want to keep saying this, but we spoke off air about the caliber of player that you've been able to get come play.
Yeah.
And everybody can't say that.
Yeah.
Everybody can't say that they've had the who's who of basketball come pull up to the event.
Yes, sir.
Ja, what you doing is dope, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it,
what you doing
man.
is dope. Like, talk about the next big thing in terms of AEBL basketball when it comes to the who's who coming to play. Like, who you got on tap for this summer, man?
Obviously we always trying to, push the narrative and try to get like the KDs and the LeBrons to come. But I'm really more excited. Like, it would be legendary if those guys pulled up in Atlanta because that's not normal.
For sure.
But, I'm excited about, our guys, our hometown guys that finally getting a chance to really be home for the summer. I mean, we got a what I feel is a mega star in Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Ant-Man.
He actually did our rollout announcement for our Adidas partnership last year. So he's signed with Adidas. So that's huge for us. Colin Sexton, Joshua Kogi, Wendell Carter, Malcolm Brogdon. These are guys.
Shout out all them guys for it out, man.
These guys that, I've seen since they was in like middle school, 9th grade, starting on varsity, playing for the AAU teams. Because this is their league. You know what I'm saying? This is for them to take on and over the next couple of years, make sure that this league goes in the right direction. We're just driving it for them. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I will say the big thing that I do, and I said I'm gonna drop a lot of announcements on y'all show, especially because it was the last minute pop up to come see y'all. But we're excited about the women's game, man.
Yeah.
The women's game for me is really some place that I've always had like a real affection for because I'm like, my daughter used to hoop a lot of my home. I grew up with Shamika Holsclaw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know the elite level of women's basketball. You know what I mean? And our goal for the next 2 years is to really develop the AEBL women so we could be the G League for WNBA.
Right.
So they all these because all these women are getting cut that are put in the work, put in the grind over these years. And I get it, it's a numbers game. The WNBA still hasn't got their structure together to really grow like the NBA.
Right.
So I feel like, I have a vision. Just like I did on the men's side, I want to build that for the women's side. And, with the team that we got and the support that we got already, the women's games be lit like how the men's be.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now that I can attest to for sure. Because, if you haven't been to an AEBL women's playoff game, then you don't really understand. Oh, man, it's crazy. Yeah. And it's at noon. The games be at noon, 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And it's shoulder to shoulder in there.
I be asking them to stay for the men's game.
Like, y'all gotta stick around.
Stay a little bit.
One thing I will say about women's basketball is that their fan base travels in droves.
And
it's family.
To pull up.
It's
they're
family.
gonna
The whole
pull up and watch.
I go with this rule, man, and this for anybody who does basketball or tournaments, whatever.
Wait, Ja. Wait. Make sure we are able to cut this clip.
Yeah, man.
Please give us something.
Yeah.
What
So
you got,
if you in the game of basketball, man, and you really want to try to figure out if this is for you, try to work with girls basketball because not only is it the most taskful, it is where you really see what your outcome could be. Because women's basketball, let's say girls basketball, their families travel.
For sure.
The entire family.
Everybody.
Grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle,
I know that
cousins,
firsthand.
brother,
Right.
sister. With the boys, it's usually mama, dad, and a sibling.
Yeah.
Or the siblings, right? Because the boys are traveling so much robust, the families can't travel with them. The girls, they playing in Tennessee, they playing in South Carolina, Florida, they playing locally. You know, so the families can get in a little Sprinter or whatever and travel. You can't do that with the boys because most of them are traveling in a whole other coast.
Cali,
you know, so that's one of the things that I've been able to see in like, you know, one of our stars that we can really vouch for is Flau'jae. You know what I'm saying? She came up from the middle school age group coming through AEBL, playing in our high school games. You know, she played in the women's league the last 2 years. So we know that like, yo, the shift is happening and we want to be in the forefront of that. And I meet with the WNBA like 2 weeks ago and then I'm about to meet with them again before All-Star. I'm like, yo, I know what it takes. You know, y'all not on the grassroots. Y'all don't even understand grassroots. So they got to understand grassroots. And if you get in this game, it's not really about those elite teams and those elite players. It's building a platform for a large group of kids that can use your avenues. And I feel like that's what we're doing with junior AEBL. That's what we're doing with the women's side. So, you know, like I said, the next couple of years for AEBL, you're going to see us going super hard with supporting the community programs more. Because, like, I feel like AAU is about to die. I really do. I know people have been talking about it, but it's too watered down. You know what I mean? It's too watered down. It's like these kids are not even taking it serious no more. They just yo, I'm just there for the tournament.
Right.
Yeah, we discussed that on a previous episode, man, just talking about how, especially now, how it's monetized to where it's all about money now. And now you get the really good kids from Atlanta don't play against the kids that play on this Nike team from Florida, or this Adidas team from Texas, or this New Balance team from Virginia. It's just completely different. So, you know, again, shouts out to what you're doing with the AEBL as a brand, not just in terms of basketball, just as the brand, because people don't understand the work, the grind, the sacrifice.
People don't even know we're a nonprofit organization, bro.
Come on, bro. Like,
I want to share my experience really quick because, like I said, when I moved here in 2016 from North Carolina, you know, North Carolina was known as the basketball state, right?
Girl,
blue blood.
Hold on.
What the hell you just said?
North Carolina
is known for PD Pablo. That's it. We ain't talking about PD Pablo.
You're not listening.
Keep going.
Okay. What I will say is one of the things I appreciate about your nonprofit and what you're doing, like you mentioned earlier, was giving back to the community. Being from North Carolina, coming out here to Atlanta is very cliquish, right? And it's very hard to get your foot in the door in different areas, right? And being a solo media personality at the time, I remember when I was trying to pitch for media requests for different events, got declined. And somebody told me, you need to check out the AEBL. And I'm like, what's that? So I went to y'all social media. I was like, no, they ain't gonna approve me. I just moved here. I ain't got nobody knows me. I remember when I submitted that media request and y'all approved me. When I got there, I was so shocked. Like Spoon said, standing room only. I couldn't believe it. I did not know that Atlanta had that type of basketball scene. I was not expecting it. I'm being very honest. I was not expecting that coming from North Carolina. Because, I can't remember what year, but at Central, they had the North Carolina Pro-Am. And I used to go to that, but it's nowhere compared to the AEBL.
No, I appreciate that.
So I appreciate you for giving me that chance and giving me that foot in the door because I met a lot of great people. And seeing how even the media has grown over the years, giving people that opportunity to put their work out there.
I think that's one of the narratives that we're pushing now too, that we didn't from the book. Because when you got your head down working, you're not thinking about like all the layers of things that you need to be explaining to people. But I literally have had 3 or 4 interviews in the past month or so where I'm really just talking about like how we've grown people. Forget basketball, you know what I'm saying? Majority of my team that started with us, right? They're all like managers and star artists now, or they work at Nike or Adidas, Under Armour, at the radio stations. Like, look at Bria.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Bria's about to be, she's about to be one of the biggest, not just females, but MCs in the country when you talk about basketball. She was one of the first people that I sat down with. That's my little sister. We ain't blood, but we almost been raising each other through our careers and what we doing. And we was just together out in LA, and I'm like, yo, this is like surreal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we literally sat down on Zaxby's on 124 in Snellville. And I was like, yo, sis, I'm about to build this basketball league. And she's like, well, I'm trying to be a host. plug me in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look now. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of rising stars that are coming through AEBL off the court that I'm extremely excited about, because I think, like, for me, a kid from New York, I gotta take it back to like the Jay-Z Rockefeller thing, right? Like, if you look at the tree of success outside of them, like, they almost, like, you know, and I humbly say that, like, Jay-Z controls majority of the damn world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about our culture, he's got someone that came from his tree, or someone he invested in, someone that they put on, that's controlling the shift in narrative in some corporate brand, corporate entity of some sort. So it's like, for me, I look at it the same way. I'm like, yo, if I can plug all these people, I don't got to benefit it directly.
Yeah.
If you winning, I'm winning. That's my mind. You know what I'm saying? So so even like yourself, like, just seeing you grow, you know what I mean? And seeing the different people who came and might have not even understood what it was. And they like, yo, Ja, I remember, yo, the first time I came to ABL, I met this player. A lot of our NBA guys, some of their teams now were like my first people, like my first publicist, or my first like game ops person. They all being successful. Yeah. So I'm like, for us, man, ABL is the fabric of the Atlanta community. Whether you look at it from a lens of young kids to the grassroots perspective, the pros, high school kids, people, you know what I'm saying? I think we get more jobs out than probably 90% of the organizations that say they do nonprofit work. Yeah. You know, so for me, man, it's always just about making sure that I'm empowering the next generation, because I know what it was like growing up in the hood and not seeing nobody that made it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we talked about it, I think, early when we connected. A lot of my older cousins, a lot of the dudes in the hood, all Americans, #1 player in the country, #1 point guard. And now they haven't got a job. They weren't even able to get a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? So for me, people ask me all the time, like, okay, what legacy? First, I'm trying to make sure that I leave this for my kids, something that they can build on, whether they want to do basketball or not. I feel my son will go pro in something. He played 3 sports, you know what I mean? But even if he don't, there's already a foundation built for him, and hopefully Atlanta pays respect and leaves something to lead him on to the right thing. And that's why I try to make sure I take care of as many kids as I can, because you never know who's gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? But then more importantly, I want people to remember that, yeah, this was a guy from New York. He moved to Atlanta. But I believe that for me, Atlanta like really birthed my vision. Right. You know, I'm from New York. I got the hustle. But when I came to Atlanta and I came to Decatur, Georgia, and I stepped on foot on Georgia Perimeter Campus, every single player that played with me will tell you to this day, they was like, yo, when he came, he said he was going to do this. Like when I came, I said it. I was like, yo, bro, this is cool. This is fun. I love it. We go to strip clubs and all that. But I'm like, yo, dog, I'm going to build a basketball league. And they all was like, bro, how you going to do this shit? You in college playing basketball. How you going to build a basketball league? And rest in peace, G. White was one of the guys as well that I'd be like, he was like, John, how the hell you going? How you gonna get all these guys to come and play? Like literally, like G. White used to be like, Ja, you tripping? You better take that shit back to New York.
Yeah, I'm about to hear that, bro. I'm about to hear about that.
And I mean, if you know G. White, he would bring all the pro guys to Georgia Perimeter in the summer because he was an agent at Pro One, I think. So you had like Gerald Fitch, William Avery. You had all these big time.
Gerald Fitch was
you crazy, right? You had all these guys that was coming to work out with us in the summer, and that even motivated me more because I'm like, yo, if they coming in my gym that I play college basketball at, I could get them. I know I can. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So he didn't know. Like I said, same thing with Matt and other guys that are doing great things in the basketball space. I think they just never saw it. Yeah. So they didn't know how to like digest it to be like, yo, Ja, go do this, or here's his relationship. But I want the community at large to know that even if you don't make it to the NBA, you can make something out of yourself using the game of basketball.
You beat me to it. You know, I was about to tell you, drop a gem, man, for the people listening, man.
That's it.
One more time, man. Yeah. One more time, because again, you know, we like to give flowers when they're due, but again, just give these people a one-liner that you feel like can propel them to get to the next level in life. Just period.
Yeah, I think whether you're a kid or just someone who's, you know, around the game, that using the game of basketball as a resource, You know what I'm saying? And if you don't make it to the pro level to play, you go always, kind of pivot to something that's around the game, whether it's agent, managers, game operations, referees. They all make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had knew this, like, coming out of high school, I probably wouldn't even want to go to the NBA, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been into marketing, and I just loved it. Like, that's what I wake up and do every day, bro. So, every kid that listens to this podcast, or talks to me on a regular day basis, I always tell them, listen, man, you can make something out of yourself using this game if you respect it first. Make sure you giving back. Try not to put yourself first all the time, because you do got to put yourself first sometimes in some situations. But, man, this is $1 trillion business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I started with maybe like $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a multi-million-dollar brand that's respected throughout the international basketball game.
Yeah.
So
we've already given you, your praise, but again, Ja, what you have been able to do for Atlanta culture, for the basketball community in Atlanta,
I appreciate it.
Astonishing, bro. So again, from the Counting Me Out podcast, we just want to give you your flowers, bro. I hate the fact that we gotta get out of here, but it's remarkable what you've been able to do, bro. And this is not me speaking from somebody that's on the outside looking in. This is from somebody who's been around
and in the trenches with me
from day one. Like, I remember when we went to New York, like the hotels we were staying in.
I just told my son that. I said, we was right by the airport. I'm like, we didn't even have no rooms. Everybody, we just had to chill till it was time for the flight.
We was in a bus, like folks was bugging out. But again, you had a vision, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
And you stuck to that vision to get your product where it's at now.
Yeah.
And with all the doubters and haters.
It's
but I love it. For me now that I'm like, and I humbly say this, like, I'm the leader of Atlanta basketball. And for me, it's not to, just toot my own horn in the sense of like talking about me, but I'm like, every room I walk in, I'm like, Go talk to Spoon and them. Mm-hmm. Go talk to this guy. And there's guys that's moving the needle as well. But I'm like, I'm trying to do it on a global level.
Yeah.
So when I walk in the room, I'm not just like AEBL. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about Sean. I'm talking about all my guys who got AAU programs. I'm talking about the high school guys. Like, what and this may or may not make it in. But, when Adidas came to Atlanta, before I even signed my deal, I told them, I was like, we got to take care of the community.
Yeah.
We got to find that way to get back.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, like, I'm hard on it. I'm like, we got 6 schools. We need 4 more schools that's sponsored by Adidas. So right now we got 6 schools that are completely sponsored and outfitted by Adidas. Kip is one of them. Kip is in the Bluff.
Right.
People don't really,
I
know the city getting gentrified.
For those of y'all who don't know what the Bluff is, oh man, go watch Snow in the Bluff.
I want people to, at this point in the game, I really want people to really hate a little more. Just because it'll make other people pay attention.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? People don't really listen
hold
to
on, Josh. Say that one more time. What you say?
I really want the people to hate a little more so more people will pay attention. Because in our culture, we don't look at the positivity all the time. When somebody doing good, sometimes they get looked over. And that's what I had to realize.
Yeah.
So I had to realize, to be honest with you, you remember the first couple of years, literally had a dude told me he started AEBL. I was sitting in a meeting with a couple of people, and we talking about basketball and all the stuff that's going on in Atlanta. And the dude's like, the Pro-Am, I helped create that. Right? So, of course, I'm like, well, I'm all ears now. I want to see how you created this shit. So we talking or whatever. He like, me and my guys, we did this. We got Lou Will, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like, so I was like, bro, AEBL is mine, bro. This shit's tatted on my leg. You know what I'm saying? He was like, word? And then, then the conversation just go a whole nother way, right?
Shifted.
But it was because for a while, you didn't know who ran it.
Yeah. Right.
I operated it in a way where it was like, it was just, if you saw me with everybody on a photo, right? You could never point out who was the boss or who started it, whatever. And then that helped me shift because I started hearing the bleeding out in the city, like, AEBL this, and they trying to copy what this league did, and I'm like, yo, bro, like literally, bro, we take care of this whole city.
Right.
From January 1st to December 31st, AEBL is doing something in this city to make an impact. How you going to try to play it like we here to take? We've been giving since day one. We started it. And that's why I always tell people, we started AEBL in December 2012 with a toy drive. That was the first time people ever seen the Migos at Grady High School, bro.
Shouts out to the Migos, man.
That's
again,
the first time they ever saw the Migos, like literally
that
in person. People just were singing the song, you know? So for me, like I said, I love it fuels me more because it's just going to make me do more and impact more people, you know? So.
Damn, Ja, again, man.
We appreciate you.
We definitely appreciate you stopping by, man, to give your
Thanks
little
for
piece,
having
man,
me.
because again, it's different when you're able to talk to the guy. Like, you know, your energy is different in the room. You walked in is different. You know, the guests we've had on the show, when they walk in, they command a different type of energy. Yeah. And that's what, you know, we wanna give out to the people is the product of, you know, the grind and the work. And what you've done is, you know, again, it's literally a product of your vision, and two, the hard work, bro.
The execution.
Like, the execution. You had a vision, you stuck to it. Man, we appreciate you stopping by the Counting Me Out podcast,
Thank
bro. You know,
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
You're
man,
welcome.
10,000%. This your boy Spoon.
It's your girl JQ.
Counting Me Out podcast, man. Checking me out, man.